Full spectrum hemp derived THC CBD products from Colony Farms. Your logo, your website, right there on the label. Business opportunity you can't pass up. For more information, get a hold of me, leave a message in the description, or go to the website. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, it is 900 hours. It is December 6th, 2022. You're in the studio with Alliday Mobile Media. We're going to start a new series in tie-in with the station that we created over on YouTube. The station is under my name. Actually, let's see if we can hang on one second. Let me see if I can. Here is the station. As you can see, it's under Aaron at VegOut77. We just set the station up. For those of you who've been following Alliday Mobile Media over the years, you know we used to have we started out on radio. We did a series for the property preservation industry of just a series of videos on contracts and stuff. And I got into doing the radio, and it morphed into something else. And we did GMO Tuesday, and in GMO Tuesday we had Cannabis Corner. Of course, this was back when around the country, many states were talking about doing legalizing marijuana in some form. Remember, and I have a clip, Mr. Trump on the campaign trail said, medical marijuana I can deal with. Just to get high, I don't know. I'm not, and you got to remember, Trump doesn't drink. He doesn't get intoxicated. So that's his thought. But he was okay with the medical aspect of it. And that's what we're going to get into here. We're going to find out. Here's what we're going to talk about today, though. Today, we're going to talk about how hemp became illegal and then how it circled back to become legal again. Let me see here where. Got to move this. So this is our channel. We will post on here. Being this is kind of warm and fuzzy, we'll post to YouTube, and we'll also post on the Rumble station for Alliday Mobile Media. We'll tie it into each other. Speaking of organizations that have given a helping hand lately, we were a guest on foreclosurepedia.org. That's Foreclosurepedia. Foreclosurepedia Nation. We were a guest on their podcast the other night talking about this right here and the business opportunities that are abound in the hemp industry right now. I, years ago, I guess you would call me an activist, if you will, because I felt there was just something not right about marijuana being illegal. When I looked at the medical implications, of course, smoking anything, you put smoke like that in your lungs, it's not good for your lungs. It's going to cause some breathing ailments. I have emphysema, and I haven't smoked in almost 30 years now, cigarettes. I did smoke cigarettes for about 18 years, I think it was, and then I just quit. And but I continued to smoke marijuana over the years. And when I had that massive seizure in St. Louis and was hospitalized at SSM, the Dr. Pretty Lady, I still cannot say her name. It's about 10 miles long. But she told me I had emphysema. And it was kind of weird the way that conversation went, because she came in and she goes, "Hi." She goes, "How much do you smoke?" I looked at her for a minute. I go, "Doc, I don't, I quit smoking almost like 20 years ago. 2000. She goes, "How about marijuana?" I go, "Well, I do a pain management thing." And she turned around and she looked at me. She goes, "Let me guess, you use a bong." I go, "You know about that shit, huh, Doc?" Now, keep in mind, Dr. Pretty Lady might have weighed 90 pounds with 5 wetsuits soaking wet, okay? She was an itty bitty little tiny thing. She turned around and she goes, "Let me tell you something, mister. You have emphysema. Marijuana smoke, emphysema, do not mix. Learn to eat brownies." I said, "Yes, doc." So obviously marijuana smoke is the point I'm trying to make. Marijuana smoke is not good for the lungs. There are a lot of medical advantages and stuff. Remember, and we're going to get to this in just a second here, how marijuana becomes illegal. Marijuana was never the target to become illegal. Cannabis sativa was the target, and hemp was actually the target. How do we go about getting hemp illegal, make hemp illegal? Because it has so many products that can be produced that are being produced with petroleum right now. Plastics, oils, lubricants, materials, various types of building materials. At one time in this country, hemp was the number one textile crop over cotton. Over cotton. Hemp has been used for like 50,000 years. Hemp, along with bamboo, is probably one of the most renewable resources on this planet. There's health benefits that can come out of hemp, CBDs. Veg Out is a company. We'll put your name on the label. Joe's CBD products, Ethel's CBD products, Ethel's gummies, Susan's CBD tinctures. What do you want? What do you want in a CBD, hemp-derived THC CBD product? We can help you out. We can get you up and going. Drop me a line, leave me a message in the thing, or I'll put our website address on their email address, a.Avero, A-V-E-I-R-O, at alladaymobilemedia.com, and we will get things up. So let's take a look at a couple things here. We'll get back to that. Let me see here. In 2018, we get a new farm bill. It ended 81 years of prohibition, okay? How did we get the prohibition, though, is what it was. They effectively banned marijuana and hemp in, like, I think it was, what does it say right there, 1939. They started in 1936. And they started, and I have always said that this was the biggest psyop propaganda project in the 20th century, was what they did on marijuana. Marijuana was used for medicinal purposes. Hemp was grown as a textile crop. They made ropes, sails. You have Dupont coming out with a nylon patent, and William Randolph Hearst, the father of yellow journalism. You have him telling us that he had forestry. He had big interest in forest land, and he was partners with Dupont in the wood pulp paper process and that patent. So basically what you have is a chemical company and a newspaper magnate that have the government's ear, and they went on a insane, and I mean insane, totally made up storyline about marijuana. And it started with this. This film relates to the story as told by high school principal Dr. Carroll to parents at a PTA meeting of the scourge of marijuana. The tale revolves around May and Jack, accomplices in distribution of marijuana. They brought marijuana to school, let the kids smoke it, and they all went crazy. So let's go back here, and you'll see some of the posters here. We can pull them up. The burning question. The love weed. Women cry for it, men die for it. Adults only. And you can see already how they're setting the narrative. Dope created ecstasy, avalanching into frightful perversions. All that good stuff. Oh, let's see who this is. Hello. Oh, it's an insurance company bogus call. Oh, how about that, folks? You just got a spam call. I this is another thing, but these were the things, and you could see how they did the demonic thing. The sweet pill makes it better. Reefer madness, and that's what they did. They went into the drug craze thing to get the reefer madness thing going. Let me see here somewhere. You get out of there. Let's. This was in 1936. We'll play the little trailer. And I want to tell you right now, this isn't the original music that was with this movie, because I've seen the movie. But the scenes are real out of the movie, what you're seeing here. He's smoking marijuana. That rolling machine you just saw, they actually sell those in prison. Yeah, right there. Yeah. But this music track was not part of this movie.
Here is a most tragic case. Yes, I remember. Just a young boy. Under the influence of the drugs, he killed his entire family with an axe.
Yeah. So basically what they do is they come in and they go after marijuana. They didn't go after hemp. Okay, they go after marijuana with the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. There really was never evidence. They didn't have evidence that this Dr. and Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing would happen. And when you think about this for just a minute, you have a product, you have a plant like bamboo. Bamboo is a phenomenal construction material because it's renewable. It's like a 90-day thing, everything. But hemp and bamboo, they've been using the fibers, spinning fibers out of hemp and bamboo for history shows us about 50,000 years. So think about that for just a minute. The 70s, some states softened penalties. I remember when marijuana, okay? I can remember when marijuana got you a joint, just a little seed in your car would get you 6 years in prison. Back in the 70s and 80s, and this was a serious issue, okay? Back in the 70s and 80s, people got more time for marijuana than they did for child molesting. I want you to think about that for just a minute, and also keep this in the back of your head while you're thinking about that. People have a tendency to pass laws that don't affect them. Wonderful legislatures we have. But 29 states had basically legalized marijuana today. And there's like 8 states, 8 or 9 plus DC. Personally, I don't think marijuana should be legal. The reason I think marijuana hasn't completely become illegal is there's really no way to test you right now like they do with alcohol, with a blow machine or some kind of cognitive test. So they don't know. But what we have, and let's get into this guy here. So this guy here comes along. He is appointed. He's testifying against Congress, and he's appointed some drug czar guy. And this is what he says in Congress. There are 100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S., and most are Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swing results from marijuana usage. The marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with Negroes, entertainers, and others. Yes, they came at this in a racial angle to make everybody, hey, those black jazz cats going to come get your white women. Be careful. Yeah, that's the kind of crap they told us. And by the time it gets to me in high school, they're still telling us that if you smoke marijuana next week, you're going to be shooting heroin into your veins because it's the gateway drug and you're going to be a junkie just on one toke of marijuana reefer. Yeah. Young and old people, all walks of life. These were advertisements about what was going on and what was going on. And you have to remember, folks, back then we didn't have. I mean, a lot of us have gotten so dependent on this internet issue, and it's a good thing for research and stuff. But at the same time, back then they didn't have it, so it was a lot easier to bamboozle things because all you had was radio and print media. TV hadn't even come into play when this was going on, so it was just the theater or the movie. This is one of the posters that they use for Reefer Madness. Another poster for Reefer. I actually used to have this poster right here until the Kessler gang in Missouri stole everything I owned. If you run into them, be careful. Again, the black side of swing. And you could see the entire time there's nothing but a racial element going on. If you smoke it, you will kill people. They basically said if you smoke marijuana, you're going to get to be a crazy nut in about a minute. After 2 or 3 hits, you're going to go wacko and run out and kill people. That's what they were telling people. But at one time, producers of marijuana could buy a permit, a tax. Yeah. Just, I don't know, folks. I don't know. I mean, we have a different deal. Some of the names you're going to see on these taxes kind of blew me away. Kurtzbizzen Letzter, that was his address. That was up in Wisconsin. He was a producer of marijuana, July 1945. See, who is this one here? Noel Carter. That was in Iowa. But this was the one I thought was most interesting. Cassius M. Clay and Curtis Franklin, Route 2, Paris, Kentucky. In case you do not know who this gentleman is right here, Cassius Clay. Muhammad Ali, and that's his hometown right there. So there were some things going on back then. Let me blow this picture up right here, folks. This is a hemp stem. You see what's going on there? All them fibers, that's what they make materials and stuff out of. That's what they make paper out of. That's what they make ropes out of. Seeds have health benefits. There's a lot of stuff going on now. These are the hulls of seed. They pop them and do various health. There's all kinds of health benefits from hemp. Okay. Bud Bionics will help you out. That's not marijuana, folks. That's hemp. This is a hemp field in France. Look, I mean, this stuff grows 10, 12, 15 feet tall. So, and this right here, folks, this is one of the largest hemp farms on the West Coast, Colony Farms. They put out a wonderful product. Like I said, this production is brought to you by Veg Out. And let's go back and look at a couple other issues here about the hemp bill. All these links that I have are going to be in the description, ladies and gentlemen. So, and I got a couple clips here. Remember, you have, as a matter of fact, I'm going to pause right here and play the couple clips that I have, and then we're going to come back and look at the USDA stuff and talk a little bit about how you can become involved in the hemp industry. We got inflation booming right now. Maybe you need a little storefront. Yeah, you can. They sell CBD products in your town. It's legal in all 50 states now. Hemp-derived THC CBD products from the last Farm Bill in 2018. And please keep in mind that Farm Bill is not from Joe Biden. The Farm Bill happened under Donald Trump's watch, and this was something that Trump pushed for, the medical aspect of cannabis. So let's take a pause here, and we'll come back and look at all the USDA stuff, and I'll play you a couple clips, and we'll talk about them when we're...
Around the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S. medicine. When it was discovered that drugs could be produced from petroleum, America's top oil mogul ordered his army of propagandists to invert reality accordingly. Medicines used for thousands of years were suddenly classified as alternative, while the new, petroleum-based, highly addictive, and patentable drugs were declared the gold standard. After buying a German pharmaceutical company that manufactured chemicals of war for Adolf Hitler, Rockefeller leveraged his political influence by pressing Congress to declare natural healing modalities unscientific quackery. Rockefeller then took control of the American Medical Association and began offering massive grants to top medical schools under the mandate that only his approved curriculum be taught. Any mention of the healing powers of herbs, plants, and diet was erased from most medical textbooks. Doctors and professors who objected to Rockefeller's plan were crucified by the media, removed from the AMA, and stripped of their license to teach and practice medicine. Those who dared to speak out were arrested and jailed. When evidence began to emerge that petroleum-based medicines were causing cancer, Mr. Rockefeller founded the American Cancer Society, through which he suppressed that information. John D. Rockefeller is duly credited as the founder of the pharmaceutical industry, and the reason that medical error is currently the third leading cause of death in America. This is not an indictment against doctors. More than anyone, they are under the stranglehold of the single largest lobbying power in Washington. Every year, the pharmaceutical industry spends at least twice the amount as big oil to influence laws, policies, and public perception. Thanks to Mr. Rockefeller, the architect of American monopolies, no industry has more power over our lives than Big Pharma.
If you're in the agriculture industry, you know how important soil health is. The micronutrients, amino acids, humic acids, your microorganisms, your bacillus bacteriums that create the trace minerals that your plants need to be healthy. Bud Bionics, a microbial soil enhancer. 1-800-580-1655. Give Jack a call today. He'll get you squared away. So let's talk for just a minute about these new farm bills. Let me clear some stuff out here so we're not getting interrupted. In 2018, we get the farm bill that includes, it reclassifies hemp and is now legal to grow industrial hemp. And I started saying this back in 2017, I think it was. You watch in the agriculture industry, forget the GMO crap, hemp is going to be the next product. Bud Bionics, you just heard from them there, folks. It is a great plant food. It was actually designed for this industry, but on the flip side, the basilicum bacteriums that are in there for your soil health, I don't care what you're growing. I don't care if you want to grow a field full of coleus or a field full of hemp or a field full of corn. It's going to increase your yields. It's going to give you healthy soil. What goes in the dirt goes on the table, folks. And it's no different with a product like this that they're using for medicine. My fear is they're going to get in here with the CRISPR technology and do some things we may not want to see happen in marijuana, or with marijuana for that matter. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of programs. I got a couple of Actually, hang on just a minute here. Let me pause for a minute and pull something up, and then I'll come right back. Hemp-derived THC CBD products from Colony Farms, vegout.pro. Ladies and gentlemen, do you need a storefront? Do you need a product? Do you have entrepreneurial bone in your body? Contact us today. We'll get you squared away. I thought I was a little more organized this morning, folks. I have to apologize. But here's what the Farm Bill did. I don't know if any of you know anything about farming or agriculture or anything, but they have what they call crop insurance. And the Farm Bill basically put hemp on the back in play, and you can get crop insurance for it. I'm going to give you an example of, and there's all the states you can see right there that the pilot insurance program provides actual production history coverage, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the states: Oregon, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Montana, Nevada. You can see there's quite a few states. I also have a press release we'll get to in a bit here about Colony Farms. They were voted number one. But you can see they use for grains. The seed is for stock. There's just so many benefits from hemp. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, there's like about 25,000 products from hemp. So I will have all these links and the PDFs, links to the PDFs. If you want the PDFs, send me an email. We ain't charging for this stuff. If we can help you get a leg up, let's do it. Here's another information link that'll be in the description. How you can qualify, eligibility requirements. Do you have a piece of land? Look, hemp is a 90-day crop, folks. So let's say you have 20 acres somewhere, okay? You can get approximately, using bud bionics, you get about 1,800 plants to an acre, and you'll get the same yield results from those 1,800 plants as you would 2,200 plants, which normally would grow without the bud bionics. It's about 2,200 plants to an acre. With the bud bionics, it comes out to about 1,800 plants. That said, if you did 5-acre plots on a 20-acre piece of land, and let's say in April you plant the first one, in May you plant the second one, in June you plant the next one, in July you plant the next one. If you're in a right place, you just got yourself 4 crops in a growing season. That is how fast hemp grows. So if you're getting a decent yield, you're using a good soil enhancement product like Bud Bionics, hey, you're in. You got something going on. Think about that for just a minute, folks. 20 acres isn't that big. A hemp plant, if I'm not mistaken, is anywhere from 2 to 5 pounds. So they have service fees here. I'll put this in so you can go through this a lot more in detail. But this link here, this is a USDA hemp program, risk management, frequently asked questions. That'll be on there. Hemp production from the Farm Bill. There was a lot of testimony. This link will also be in there. And of course, let's take a look at the press release. Colony Group LLC wins top honors in Best Hemp-Derived THC Products category. This is how it works, folks. You contact me. I set up an introduction email with you and Jack Young. You're on your way. You and Jack Young work everything out. You get him the details. You get him your logo. You get him your photos. Whatever you want on the label. Jack take care of you. Jack take care of me. That's how it works. I'm not charging you anything. I'm just a middle guy here making a connection and trying to help you out get in business. What we're going to do going forward, and this is what I'd like everybody out there to do. Do you got questions about hemp? Do you have something you want us to research? Like, let's say, what kind of products are made out of hemp? Okay, I didn't really get into some of that. We know paper. We know sails on the ships. I mean, when Columbus was looking for new drug routes, he and found Central America and the Mayans. The Aztecs and all them folks he found down in Mexico. Guess what? His sails were made of hemp. The rope on his ships were made of hemp. The hemp, again, because of what was going on. You just saw that clip with Rockefeller. Okay? Because of everything that was going on. And we find out that all these chemicals, and that's what pharmaceutical is. It's artificial medicine. It's chemical-induced medications. Synthesized medications. Think about it. It's not natural. Pills aren't natural. Why do you think we have to have so many foods fortified and enriched? Because the current agriculture environment is based on producing everything with chemicals. And those chemicals take all the nutrition value out of your food. So, what we're going to do, we're going to close out here. What I'm going to do, going forward, we're going to start getting a specific question a week. And we'll do this on GMO Tuesdays with our GMO Tuesday piece. And as I said, we'll put this on the Veg Out Aaron station on YouTube. It'll also go on our Rumble station. Of course, we're monetized on Rumble there, and we'll pick some pennies up here and there on the YouTube station. But for those of you who want to know more about hemp, if you'd like to know more about starting a storefront, if you'd like to know more about how to get a website up and going, leave a message, send an email. I'll put the email in their contact information in the description. Also, I don't know what else to say right now, except I hope we've brought in a little bit of light to it. And what I'd like to do, I'm going to get with Jack, see maybe we can't go down to one of the farms they have out here in Oregon and interview some of the workers there, get some information that might help you along the way and see what happens. Remember, Bud Bionics is an organic, natural product. It's Basilicum bacteriums that you need in the soil. It's also good for hydroponic farming, and it's great for conventional farming. You get a gallon of this product produces a massive amount of plant food. It'll produce about 900 gallons for conventional farming and about 1,800 gallons of food in your hydroponic setups. So Colony Group is a seed to shelf company, as they say, farm to table, if you will. If you would like to get involved in this and you want more information, if you want to go to the website and contact Jack directly, tell him Alliday Mobile Media sent you. He'll get you squared away right away. If you would like, it's a lot easier if I make an introduction, email introduction for you. Send me your information, a.avero@allidaymobilemedia.com. That is a.aveiro @allidaymobilemedia.com. That website, that email address will be in the description, ladies and gentlemen, along with links to everything else you have seen here. Put the link to Reefer Madness if you want to go in there and take a look at that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but with the knowledge that we have now, Remember, folks, this movie, Reefer Madness, they were still scaring us to death in the 60s with it, telling us that if marijuana is a gateway drug, if you take one toke off a marijuana reefer cigarette, you're going to be a junkie tomorrow shooting heroin. That's what they told us in high school. That's what they told us in high school. I mean, and here's what was funny, because they came by with this was before Nancy Reagan gave us DARE, okay? What that sheriff would do, they would come by and they had a tea strainer, one of them little, little strainer, But they'd put a little hemp in it and then light it with a lighter, and then they'd pass it around so you could smell it. So if you ever smelled that smell, you could go tell on, hey, they got something funny smelling over there. That's kind of how he said it. But I'll never forget this. As he's walking around, as the officer's walking around with this drug education class in our biology class, he's walking around with the weed on fire in the basket of course, me and myself and a couple other people. I won't mention names, but when they brought it by, we was like, just give it a nice sniff and smell it. I'm going, I blew all that smoke out and went, wow, man, that smell. Can I smell that again so I'm sure what it smells like? I want to make sure I get this right. Take a big old another smell of it. Everybody else is smelling it down the line. By the time he got out of there, we were all stoned. But we have knowledge now. We have understanding of this weed. And now we know why it was made illegal. Isn't it time maybe we examine the medical benefits of these products, of these plants? They're natural, they're organic, they're, again, it's a renewable crop. Every 90 days you can grow. And I just grabbed 20 acres to show you what you could do. I mean, think about something. If you had like 100 acres of land, which is not a big farm or ranch, really, but or even 50 acres, and you divided it into 5, 10 acre things to have a constant thing, so you're not having. And the reason I say that is because it's easier to process 5 acres of hemp than 25 acres of hemp, and if you stagger it, you eliminate a massive cash flow problem because you constantly have in and outgoing revenue. Where if you do, let's say you did 100 acres in May or April, okay, April, May, June. Then June comes along and you have to do the next 100 acres. June, July, August. You kind of got out of the growing season. You have 2 sections of incoming revenue. You don't have cash flow. That's what I'm getting at by staggering your crops. So if you had, say, 50 acres and you dump it into, or even 40 acres, and you start dividing it up into 10-acre plots to rotate the crops around and get your soil healthy, you can make a substantially decent living. Whether you're making juices, whether you're making CBD products, whether you're selling the hemp for textile companies to places that make cloth, clothes, flags, burlap bags. And remember this. Plastics made from hemp, they'll tear down a lot faster than the plastics from petroleum products do. And that is becoming a big problem around the world right now, is that. So maybe this is something we need to look at here. I'll put the PDF release for Colony Farms in the description also. Again, it's an easy crop to grow. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. There are again, I'm not a side person. Herbicides and pesticides is not a way to grow. You're going to pull some weeds, maybe. You might I have to come up with some different methods for insect control, ladybugs, praying mantis, even earwigs. Believe it or not, are a good insect control because they'll go through aphids like I go through a box of C's candy. Um, so, but again, if you want to do a storefront, Medford, Oregon, Southern Oregon is where Colony Group, their farm is. And again, I'll get with Jack. Maybe I can meet Jack there and we can do a little interview up there about the farm bill and how things go and what you need to do. Do you need some help creating a logo? Do you need help creating a name for your business? How about this? Do you need help with? I'll start. Maybe it's time to pat me on the back and say, hey, do you need a business plan? I can assist with that. Again, there's grants out there, the farm bills and everything. So let's take a look going forward. Do you have a question about hemp? If you got a question about hemp, send me a question. We'll research it. We'll get into it and we'll dig into hemp, some of the products. Next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you why the chemical industry came and the oil industry, petroleum industry came after hemp the way they did. Well, we'll get into the products that hemp makes other than the common knowledge of textile products. There are a lot of products. As I said, there's over 25,000 products that they derive out of hemp. Can't be a bad crop, folks. I'm going to say this again. I'm not a pharmaceutical person. I firmly believe the maker put every single plant on the planet for a reason. And I want you to think about something for just a minute. When I say that, the maker put every plant on the planet for a reason. There's a part of the world where opium poppies grow naturally. Also in that part of the world, there is a plant that deals with addictions for opiates. We've done specials on them. Think about that for just a minute. Okay, there's a bad plant, here's a good plant. If you get involved with a bad plant, there's a good plant to take care of it. If you don't do the good plant, shame on you. That's basically what the maker's saying there. I mean, that's my interpretation. I could be wrong, folks. I don't know. But going forward, we'll dig into this hemp issue and we'll talk about products that are going on. The Nevada Hemp Association, of course. Again, hemp is legal everywhere. So if this is something you want to get into, and you want a little storefront, you want help getting a website set up, drop us a line here, alladaymobilemedia.com. That's alladaymobilemedia.com. You can leave me a SpeakPipe voicemail off the website. You can send me an email, a.avero, A-V-E-I-R-O, at alladaymobilemedia.com. Until next time, to all our military personnel, thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a great day. Let's all be safe out there. Till next time, happy gardening, huh?